Well, hello everyone, and welcome to another episode here on the MIgardener channel. Today we are doing Beekeeping 101. This is constructing and painting your own bee boxes. A lot of people overcomplicate this process and they think it's way more expensive than it needs to be and way more complicated than it needs to be. So what you have here is a completed, unpainted, and unbuilt bee box. So this is the final product here. This is what it's going to look like. This is a medium deep box, and that is all you're going to need to basically have a complete bee box. I have some frames which will go in the bee box, but this is all we're building, so it's pretty self-explanatory, and we're just going to build this now. So let's get started with constructing. You have just 4 planks. They're all pre-cut. They have the grooves, they have the pre-drilled holes, and the slots here to hold the frames. So really all you have to do is construct it. And so it's not something that you need to be a rocket scientist for. So let's put this together. This side here. And the slats just kind of go together pretty easily, but they're a little tight, so sometimes you gotta tap them in with a hammer. All right. Then they give you the right amount of nails. I always suggest buying a pre-made kit or a pre-cut kit. They give you everything. This one I purchased from a local bee supply store, and it was $20 for the bee box. So it's very cheap. And talk about quality. This is great quality. I love this. I've already purchased I think 6 or 7 bee boxes from them, and I keep coming back for more because their quality is unsurpassed. The wood for these bee boxes is a white pine because it is termite resistant, and it is not rot resistant, so that, whoops, I got an end there. So we are going to need to paint them, which is why you see some that are either varnished or painted. I like the classic white paint. Reason being is the white paint helps to reflect some of the heat. And there we go. And so if you want it to be a light color, if you do. A lot of people choose to varnish theirs because it's more natural. That's okay too. You can definitely do that. But the white pine with the outdoor white paint, easily the most cost effective. I'm just going to finish nailing in the rest of these nails here, and then I'll get back with you because basically that's all I have really left. You just take the nails, stick them in the pre-drilled holes and pound them in, and you got yourself a completed bee box. Now if you do want this to be your brood box, which is where they basically call themselves home, you want to add a bottom board and a top board to this. So it's not a complete bee box, but it is a bee box. This is strictly going to go on top of my brood boxes. So this is all I'm going to need. However, if you if you need to actually have a beginning bee box that you're going to put your bees in initially, you're going to want to buy what's called a bottom board, and that just allows the bees to enter the hive. And they're also going to want a top board and a telescoping top board, because that allows the bees to enter from the top, and it also adds air circulation to allow humidity out so that they can properly keep their temperature regulated. All right, so 3 or 4 minutes later, we have ourselves a completed bee box. Not hard at all. Now what we're going to do is paint it. I like to use this is a premium decor satin. This is just what I like to use. It's an outdoor paint. It's not an oil-based paint. It is a water-based paint, so it doesn't have any of the harmful chemicals that can be found in the oil-based paint. It is Also not going to go on the inside of the bee box. So many people want to paint their entire bee box. Don't do that. Don't do that at all. Simply because anywhere bees are, you do not want the paint, because it can still be toxic even if it's an outdoor, this is a outdoor water-based acrylic enamel for plastic, wood, metal, wicker, and more. So, I mean, really any outdoor paint is going to work, but it's just keeping things as bee-friendly as possible, and also giving you that durability so your wood is not rotting. And that's just what I've found to work really well for me. Now, a lot of times people want to simply paint the whole outside of the box, but they never look at which way the box is standing. I always flip my boxes upside down. And by upside down, set that down for a second. By upside down, here's handles, right? So you can hold the box. I take it and I flip it upside down. That makes the handles facing down, so all the paint will drip down into those handles and evenly coat those spots that people usually forget and miss. So I'm just going to paint this box up, and again, anything that's going to come in contact with bees, I leave unpainted. And if a little bit drips in there, I'm not too concerned. It's just the majority that you want to keep unpainted. So I'm just going to coat it once, and then you want to go by in about 5 to 10 minutes once it starts turning tacky enough to repaint, and I just throw a second coat on. I'm not too picky about how much it's coated, because I can always go by and coat it again later on in the year if I really need to. But I find that just a one thick coat and then just an overcoat in about 5-10 minutes works great, and I've never had any problems at all, simply because the wood is fairly sealed once you put that first coat on anyways, and it's not really meant to be aesthetic. It's just meant to keep the water out. So that's what it's doing. But the white, I was going to mention though, the white does have a cooling effect to the hive, as I mentioned earlier in this video. A lot of times you want to paint them, like I said, just a white. I've seen people paint them cream or like a sky blue, so just ideas for you. But I like just the classic white, because people know what they are when they drive by, and it's nice. It's a nice showpiece for your organic garden. So we're just getting ready to put the hives, or the second box on top of the brood box here, and we're just putting in our frames. I prefer a plastic frame. This is a plastic frame with beeswax foundation, so that it's easier for the bees to basically draw out the comb, and they can work on it a little bit easier. And it also helps them kind of get started, so that they have just kind of a foundation to go off of, rather than just making it anywhere. It's a little bit neater too, especially if you're collecting honey. Again, that was not my first intent when I was getting bees, but I figured if I can get, if I can get a few pounds of honey, well, hey, then I got a few pounds of honey. It's just sweetens the pot a little bit. So I'm going to put 10 in here, because these are 10 frame medium deeps, or 10 frame medium supers. I have one 10 frame deep, and those require different frames, but we're using for the second box all 10 frame medium supers, because they all require the same size frames, and that's what I would recommend doing. But prior to this, I actually, when I was first experimenting, I thought, okay, well, I'll do a 10 frame deep. I thought, okay, that'll work out great. But then once I started seeing how many variances there was, I decided I would go with all 10 frame medium supers. That way I need one box, I need all one kind of frame, and it really saves on cost, and it's just a little more efficient that way, because then if something breaks or maybe one colony dies off, because that is an apparent thing, then I can switch the parts out. They're all interchangeable that way as well, and I don't have parts that are going to waste. So I'm just going to fill these boxes up here. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right, so that one is done as well, and you want to make sure that the spacing is even. Make sure none of them are too close, and just giving a little bit of a jiggle sometimes settles them into place. There we go. Okay, so that one's done as well. And I'm going to get one more done, and then we'll put them on the bee boxes here, and we'll show you a close-up of the colonies as well. So I'm really excited because it's been about 3 weeks since I've checked them last. So it'll be exciting for you as well as for me. They can be calm or active. I can't tell exactly. Yeah, they're active. All right, just gently put it on. Don't crush any, just move slow. All right. Okay. And again, they're not quite as friendly, but they're happy. They will be happy at least. All right. And we're gonna put the telescoping top on, and it's forward, and we're good. All right, now we're just gonna make sure that all of the frames are even and flush with each other. There, all right, we're good. So as you can see, the bees are definitely, they're not as accustomed to this because this is their first transition, but there will be one more. We're going to put another medium super onto the boxes there, but they are definitely, they're definitely agitated as you would expect, but the third one it's calm again. So, I mean, the amount of bees that there was in that one was obviously the least, but they're still calm nonetheless, and they were pretty unhappy. Obviously the middle one is starting to begin to calm down. They just, they're used to flying in the top of that lower frame there, or the lower box, so that's why they're kind of huddling near that handle there. But I mean, you can really see it over here. Their flight patterns are telling them to go to that spot, and they go to that spot and there's no hole there anymore in the top frame, so they're just a little disoriented, but they will eventually realize that it's up top. No worries, no harm done, and they're going to really appreciate that medium frame there to start producing honey for the colder winter that obviously is inevitably going to happen. But yeah, the reason why they were so aggressive though is because of the fact that as the season goes on, they get more protective of their honey because that is their supply. And no matter if you smoke or don't smoke, it's going to be stressful for the bees. So that's my way of opening up the hives. If I go to do any major checking, I will smoke. But just making minor adjustments like putting on an extra box or something, I never smoke for that because I find that it does more damage than good. So I thank you guys for tuning in and watching how to make the frames, paint the frames, and then put them onto the bee boxes. I hope you all enjoyed the shot of the colonies, and I definitely suggest getting into bees. It's very fun. And I thank you, Cindy, for helping me because it's really nice having a partner just because it makes the process go a little bit quicker, and speed is key when you're not smoking your bees because the more they're exposed to that cold air, the feistier they seem to get. So it's nice having Cindy here to help, and I thank her a lot. And as always, MIgardener reminding you to grow big or go home. I'll talk to you all later. See ya. Bye.